My hair looks like crap because I took a shower this morning to get ready for the stream, and I didn't quite have time to dry my hair completely good, so it's got kind of the frizzies at the bottom. But good news is, whenever we go to start playing the games and this shrinks down and then goes into the corner, you're not gonna be able to tell about that one. So, everybody, welcome to day 2 of the 7th annual Gatorbox Extra Life charity stream benefiting Driscoll Children's Hospital right here in Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm already getting automated emails from Extra Life saying you came, then overcame, then conquered, and they're congratulating me on raising $300 for the marathon and say, buddy, a wise music group called Bachman Turner Overdrive once said, "You ain't seen nothing yet." Don't early congratulate me. We still got 12 hours of marathon to go. So like I said, kicking things off, we got Blast Corps. And if you've never seen this game before, this is one of Rareware's games, that Rareware, for the Nintendo 64. This was the first one they did on the system, and it was the one that nobody really knew about. This was the one that they made before they hit that stride, where they had nothing but classics, Banjo-Kazooie, GoldenEye, Jet Force, Gemini, Perfect Dark, all those games that people remember Rare for. Blast Corps came first, and a lot of people slept on this one, but the good news is, in its later years, it's coming back around. People are waking up to the fact that this is a fantastic game, and I've already got it on, I've already got it ready, so we're going to hop on over to the Extra Life layout this year, and we're officially going to get day 2 underway. This is a game where you use construction vehicles to level a path for a missile carrier who is carrying nuclear missiles that are leaking, basically. So the shortest distance between 2 points, as you all know, is a straight line, unless you watch Event Horizon, in which case the shortest distance between 2 points is nothing. But anyways, the truck is carrying leaking cargo. So in order to get to the detonation point, the safe detonation point, as quickly as possible, its GPS is straight line. And your job as the Blast Corps is to level everything in that carrier's path, including all of the houses and homes that people have built to spend their lives in. So if the truck hits anything, the missiles go off, everybody dies. We'll probably see that a couple of times. But the reason why I love this game is because it always keeps you on your toes. There's always, it keeps throwing hooks at you, and there's a lot of interesting secrets to find as well. We're only going to do any percent for this run, but 100% for this game is crazy because there are so many bonus courses here. We're only really going to see the carrier stages and the training stages for some of the vehicles because those are mandatory. But some of the bonus stages that are in this game that we're not going to get to see, they do races with the vehicles. They do ones where it's like destroy 20 buildings in under a minute and a half. They do ones where you have the big jetpack flying robot and you have to kind of almost like fly through rings and do stuff like that. So there's a ton of content in this game. Unfortunately, we're not going to see all of it, but if you stay tuned to Gatorbox, I would love nothing more than to give this game time in the spotlight as a Friday night show where we do a 100% run. So I'm going to explain it more as we go along, but the reason why I haven't yet started the thing yet is because as soon as we commit the name, that's when the timer starts. So Blast Corps starts in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, first stage, out of the gate, Simeon Acres. There's going to be a lot of tutorials that pop up. We're going to be driving the Ram Dozer. And you can see that building, it's explaining it. It's got arrows pointing around that building. That means that that building has to be leveled. Otherwise, the missile carrier will run into it and kill everybody. Bounced off that one. And now, oh, nope, path is not clear. We missed something. Yeah. Uh-oh. Is it the fucking gas pumps? Oh, it's... Ooh, I was right there at the beginning of the stage. It was not good. Alright. So all of the buildings that we don't knock down, basically,
You're just trying to impress me.
basically those are for 100%ing the game. You can go back in and level all of those if you want. And you need to get golds and everything. Here's Black Ridge Works, telling us what those little lights on the ground are. They're basically called RDUs, Radiation Dispersal Units. Again, the truck that's driving through this town is leaking radioactive material. So those lights, I guess, absorb. They're like iodine tablets. They absorb all the harmful radiation so that it doesn't leach into the community. I guess that's how they wrote themselves out of that corner. So those of y'all that are fans of Your Level Sucks will recognize Blast Corps as the reason, the game for the reason why I bought that Nintendo 64 soundtrack, because I love the music in this game. We're going to do some tutorial stages. These basically show you how all these vehicles work, and then the next stage you go on to from here usually uses this vehicle. This is Sideswipe. It has pneumatic rams that come out from the sides of the truck. I don't know what construction vehicle this one is, and I don't think I've seen this one before in real life. But basically, you just pop these buildings. Sideswipe is really only useful against these like boat houses where you can drive between them. Not a very useful vehicle. It's very circumstantial. Very hard to use too, because if one of the poppers hits a building but the other one doesn't, you only hit one building. It's kind of shitty. Anyways, if you hold gas at the start of this stage, you will die. And since you guys were joking about Darkside Phil earlier, he did that 3 times in a row. So they gave us Sideswipe, and there are some buildings for Sideswipe to tear down, but we don't want to drive Sideswipe because he sucks. So we're going to get out. We're going to get inside the Thunder Fist, which is a robot with one giant boxing glove arm. And there's a funny story why Thunder Fist only has one arm. It's because Rare actually modeled 2 arms for Thunder Fist, but it was too complex of a model, and the game couldn't really handle it. The engine, it would just lag really badly. So they took one of his fists off and just put some wires hanging out that are sparking. So I always thought that's a great workaround for that. Alright, so now we're gonna go do J-Bomb's training stage. J-Bomb is the big jetpack robot, and you fly up in the air and then you butt stomp everything. Kind of a difficult vehicle to master because if you land just directly straight down, you don't really do a lot of damage. It's more about coming down at an angle and hitting multiple parts of the building at a time. Also, this right here, I tell this joke every time, it's probably in very poor taste. This right here, this is how 9/11 happened for real. This is, you know, this is the reason why they haven't reopened that report. See, the American public doesn't even know that Big Robot did it. When you do that a lot nicer, you land, like, those buildings are in sets of 4. So if you land at that intersection, that plus where they all meet, that you can knock it down in one hit. But I suck at games, so. This is Skyfall, the little motorcycle, little moto car with the nitro boost. We only really use him to follow those dots to J-Bomb so that we can smash all these buildings. Y'all want to see some expensive art? That's worth $1 million right there, those flags. Meanwhile, this whole building, if we tear it down, we find out it's only worth 40,000 bucks. I never really understood the dollar amount figures for this game. Also, I missed something. What did I miss? Is it? Oh, this building too. Okay, there we go.
Nice work.
So you don't have to break everything. You just have to. I mean, you can see the path the missile carrier is going to take. It's going to drive between those buildings, and it's not going to hit those.
You're just trying to impress me.
Alright. Now we get to move on to the training stage for what people consider to be the worst vehicle in the game. Backlash. Backlash, you have to drift into buildings. Like this. They give you 6 minutes to do this training stage because it's extremely difficult. Oh, goofed up on that one. I will say, Backlash is a difficult vehicle to master, but when you get the hang of it, it's so good. This one's a gimme right here. See this little thing? This little bump in the road right here. This introduces you to the fact that if you hit a bump with something, the vehicle will plow through the building no matter what because it's airborne. So you don't have to drift into that one. But if you hit the bump or like a ramp and kind of jump into it, that's how you can kind of get a gimme off of them. Alright, got another one of these stages.
I hope this works.
Whoops. Little late on that one. The satellite dish that I just hit. Oh my god. That unlocks a bonus round. We don't really need to worry too much about that. We're not, again, those aren't part of the 80% run. I feel like I hit that pretty good. I feel like I did. We're not doing so hot here. Okay, that's fine. It's good enough. Leave that chunk behind. Okay, again, right there, there's a bump in the road. You can use that to your advantage to kind of cheese your way through it. And if you pay close attention, there's another one right up ahead. So usually when you get a backlash stage, it's more about being aware of your surroundings and knowing how to use the level to your advantage. Because I messed up on this stage, I'm still going to go for it, but I might waste a lot of time doing it. One thing I didn't point out is that in order to beat any percent, you have to actually locate 6 of the scientists who helped design the missile carrier that you're driving around with. So you can push this out of the way. You may have noticed when we entered this stage, it said there were a lot of different vehicles located in it, and right now we only have the dump truck. It's because all the vehicles are part of this hidden part of the level. So Ramdozer's down here. He's got a TNT crate. You can put that into that door, and there's a train hidden behind this door. You got to be very careful here, because remember that there was like that searchlight right there marks a place where you can arbitrarily get out of the train, and now you get inside a police car, and there's a maze you got to go through. So this game has already gone off the fucking rails. So you get in the police car, you're driving through the maze. Somewhere in here is a guy with a travel trailer who's camping out. He's one of the scientists we have to talk to. There he is! Okay, so there's 6 of these guys, and you have to rescue all 6 to actually detonate the missile and beat the game. Right now the missile truck is still barreling towards the exit of the stage, and we did this with just enough time so that the stage should end automatically in a few seconds. Yeah, there we go.
Not a scratch on it.
The stage can end 2 ways. You can either let the truck get to the end, or you can get out of the vehicle and get inside the semi-truck once the game says the coast is clear. So now that we've done that, hang on. I actually had a cheat sheet that reminded me where all the scientists are, so let me get my cheat sheet out. Okay. So this we opened up this stage right here. That's a race. We're not gonna do that one. Let's go to Ironstone Mine. This one gives us side swipe. You can kind of see I'm kind of mashing on the R button, and I drove between those buildings, but it only really destroyed one set of the townhouses. Like I said, the pneumatic rams on this vehicle, I get what they were trying to do, but they don't work very well. The game's engine does not like this car. Luckily, we're not going to be seeing much more sideswipe for the rest of the game. It really only is like a early stage kind of thing, because sideswipe's weaponry is pretty simple as far as execution is concerned. You just drive past things and smash stuff. And as the levels get harder, they kind of shy away from just giving you vehicles that do stuff like that. But you can pop a sick wheelie. So once again, we're going to trade out Sideswipe for Thunder Fist. It seems to be a recurring thing in this game. Alright, so now, it's time to kick all these buildings down. I know you guys had some kind of mining operation or something going on here, but there's a missile truck coming. We have to wrap this one up. Okay, so there is a scientist hidden here, but we have to end this stage and come back, because this scientist is so deep in this level that even if we were to play this perfectly and then double back and get out and go find the scientist, the truck would end the stage and we would waste all that time. So we have to go back. Now there's no missile carrier because we've cleared this level. Everything that we've destroyed remains destroyed. So we're just going to head back and we're going to focus on the scientist, and then we're going to exit the stage again. And to get to the scientist, there's this right here. This little walkway. And then parked inside like this garage is the Ramdozer. Just hanging out. I'm cruising along. This little side street here. Alright. Now we got a crane. We're gonna park the Ramdozer on the crane. Then of course we're gonna get in the crane. Okay. And we're going to put Ramdozer down over there on the other side of this bridge. And you got to get out. You got to walk across the bridge. You got to get back in the Ramdozer. We got to push this block of TNT into whatever the hell this thing is. Now we got to drive down here. Now we're in a cave. And now, I went to the wrong one again. Is he right here? I never get this right on the first try. So, okay, so we found scientist number 2. Tell you what, these guys take living off the radar to a whole new meaning. How does this man get any groceries down here? What does he do? Does he just eat rocks? So there is an easy exit out of here. Unfortunately, this is like a one-way thing. There's an invisible wall that lets you only pass through one way. You can drive on the train tracks, and coming up there's this thing. You can only drive through it heading this direction. Alright. There we go. Got the scientist. We need the 6 scientists so that we can do a safe detonation for the leaking missile carrier. Because those guys apparently they designed the missile or something. They know only they know how to do it. It's something goofy like that. This is actually the stage where the game tries to introduce you to the TNT crate, which we've already pushed a couple of. It's really interesting because you would normally think like the tutorial prompt would appear the first time you encounter something, no matter where it is. But instead, it's actually done on a level-by-level basis. The game is assuming you're going to play this one first, or that you're going to find the TNT here first, because the TNT in the other levels were in hidden places. Anyways, we get back in the Ramdozer after we load him on the train. We got some work to do. These TNT crates. Yeah, see, it tells us that's what TNT does. I'm like, think I don't know this already? This TNT crate that I'm pushing, you got to be very careful with it, because if there's anything in the way, okay, I feel like I got that, but okay, 2. If there's anything in the way of the missile carrier, it'll blow it up. That includes if you park a vehicle in the way of the missile carrier and it runs into that vehicle, it's going to blow up. And you're not going to get a warning for it because the game only warns you about buildings that are in the way, not vehicles. The same applies to these TNT crates. If you leave one of these in the way of the missile carrier and it runs into the TNT crate, it'll still detonate and you'll lose the stage. So that one TNT crate that I made sure to run into, that's sitting right there front and center, it'll run into that and blow up, and the game will not warn you about it. And that's a piece of shit. There's a scientist hidden here. So anyways, we need to go this way. Turns out that there's a TNT crate right here. You can blow up this little this thing right here. Now, I'm gonna exploit a glitch in this that's only in the American version, and this is allowed for any percent run. If you try to get out of a vehicle and there's something blocking you, the game will eventually initiate its error handler, which is to destroy whatever it is that's preventing you from getting out of the vehicle. So what we smashed was a very seemingly priceless Maui head statue. It was worth like $9 million or something. So we could get J-Bomb, who's hiding inside of it. We're going to use that only a couple of times in the run, because you would think that it would just be really exploitable, but it's not very useful. It's very slow to use. Anyways, here's our buddy. That's 3 scientists. Which of these buildings is the Driscoll Children's Hospital? The one that we don't break, but not this one. So I'm going to smash this real quick. You see that TNT crate that was underneath that awning right there? The real way you're supposed to get J-Bomb without cheating is you bring... that TNT crate has a super long fuse. So you push that onto the train, then you kick it into reverse, go all the way back to the start, then you have to wait for that to blow up, because you have to park next to the thing, wait for it to blow up, and then you get in J-Bomb. There's a jump in this stage that's timed to the music of the game. If you accelerate, right here, don't tell me that's not intentional. So yeah, it kind of feels cheap using the Z glitch, but it's going to come in handy. It's going to save our ass in a couple of places, and as we're going to find out, it's also, the Z glitch is also not infallible. There are some places where you actually can't use it because of the limitations of the game itself. Like the way levels are set up, you can't actually use it. Now, I actually destroyed a lot of buildings in here that I didn't need to, and that's purely to give Backlash some maneuverability room, so we can come at these buildings.
Can you keep this up?
A lot of these buildings have hit points, but if you're smart about it, again, remember, if you hit... Oh, there's the truck. Whoops. Oh shit, I'm fucking this one up. No! Let's see if we can clutch this out. It's not gonna happen. Definitely not gonna happen. No! No! Fuck you! No. Oh shit, I'm stuck. 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 So we've survived in this stage a lot longer on this attempt than I was anticipating. Oh, this might be it. This might be it. I can't get out of here. Oh, I backed into him with my corner. God damn it. Wait. Whoops. We'll try that one again. You gotta be really careful with that first yellow building. That mound of dirt that's behind it, I don't think you can destroy the entire building with it. I'm gonna try. That's gonna be the first thing I do. Actually, Zahando's asking if this is a Micro Machines game. It kind of feels like one when you're driving these little vehicles around, but no, this is its own thing. This is Blast Pro by Rareware. So like right here, you can't really hit that chunk of the building, but apparently I only need to hit that first side of it, so that's fine. Let me. I'm not sure if that helped me. Sometimes destroying the little fuel things there, yeah, maybe. Destroying the little fuel canisters, stuck in the same spot again. That'll deal damage to all surrounding buildings, which is something that actually not a lot of people who play this game know. So it's worth it sometimes to go out of your way. Like, sometimes that's part of the solution to a stage. Oh man, I almost got it. I almost backed all the way up into it. I almost wiggled into it. I'm just gonna face plant this one because there's grass right there that messes with your traction, and there we go. Okay. But yeah, there are some stages where hitting the big oil drums, the silos, will damage surrounding buildings and make everything just a little bit easier. Alright, next stage is the testing stage for Skyfall.
Show us what you've got.
The gold medal time for this course is 4 seconds. We're definitely not gonna get that. Really? Okay. The reason why so many of the gold medal times for this game are basically impossible is because the two teams that tested this game, Rareware's team and the Nintendo Super Mario Club team, they had so much fun playing this game that they always tried to outdo each other on their best times. So that's how you know it's a good game, when the people who test it don't want to stop playing it. Even though, like, it's their job to play video games, and the game is so much fun that they're like, no, you need to tighten up the graphics on level 3. Hey, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I want to keep playing. Okay, that clears that. It's in the bonus stage. Again, we're not going to see those in any percent. That's going to be for 100%. I've thought about doing a 100% run of this game, but it is very difficult. You have to get every building and collect every those little dots you see all over the place. It's a very labor-intensive process, but it is impressive to see those runs done. 18 spikes in Grav. I think Grav is the current world record holder for any and 100% in this game, and he is phenomenally good at it. And if for some reason this building right here is not in the way, but it's in my way, because like when I try to get out and get in the truck, see, like, it's apparently the truck is gonna thread the needle right through that and does not touch it, but alright. We got promoted again. Promotions are based upon a number of factors in this game. It's not just levels that you complete, it's the medals you collect, the amount of dollars and damage you've done to everything, all that good stuff. What is the stage going on? Cobalt Quarry, that's another race. Tempest City introduces the Ballista, which is a motorcycle that can shoot rockets, which is cool. It's like a twisted metal car. And we do have another scientist to save in here. I'm really trying to hit that part. Thank you. So I'm actually kind of going out of my way to get these extra missiles as we play through this stage. And the reason for that is because these are basically required in order to get to rescue the scientist. This is kind of a tricky stage to do all in one go. It's a very labor-intensive one. Okay, nice work. So we're gonna double back. Grab those. I think there's a couple more boxes. I'm not sure. Over here. Yeah, right here. See all these? This specific light you can shoot many times, and it will blow up and reveal a ring. That's why all those missiles are there, is to give you a hint. And now, we have to blow our way through all of these little $10 boxes and hopefully clear a path to get to the scientist back there. I've only got about a dozen missiles left, so is that good enough? Yes! Okay. So that's... good enough for you, it's good enough for me, good for the kids, good for the adults. I'm gonna try to get back to the ending of the stage, but I'm not super concerned. I think the truck might finish it before we get there. I'm also not gonna fire off, oh no, there we go. I'm also not. Well, he almost finished it. I'm not going to fire off missiles in celebration either, because if you if you shoot the truck, this might surprise you. It'll blow it up. So don't do it. This is beaten tracks. This stage, I think this is one of the stages that was meant to introduce you to the crane. Because Ironstone Mine that we've done previously has the crane, but the crane is in a secret area. So again, it's kind of like the TNT situation where when you see it, the game only gives you the tutorial prompt when it thinks it's going to be the first time you see something, which is kind of an imperfect thing. But that big building back there can only be blown up with TNT. You have to basically pick up the ramdozer, put it on the platform on the crane, and then carry it over, and then, you know, drop it and walk off. You know what I mean. But since it's TNT only, if you do the Z glitch, you'll blow the entire thing up in one go. The building doesn't destroy in chunks like everything else, because usually if a building is only destroyed by a TNT crate, the whole thing goes down. So Echo Marshes is a J-Bomb stage, and this introduces us to the concept of having to fix a platform. Like right here, that's a hazard. You can't break it, that's a train platform. So what you have to do is follow these tracks and get in the train. And then by parking the train just right, that flatbed car on the train will fill in the gap. And now it fixes the hazard. But you do have to get the muscle car off of the train because, again, that's in the way. And the reason why the muscle car is here is so that you can quickly get back to your your jetpack robot, J-Bomb. It's got that funky horn too. And I could also point out, for all of the stages that are races, the vehicles that you are permitted to use on the race stages are ones that if you have to have driven them in one of the stages at some point. So this stage also kind of serves a double purpose of giving you 2 cars for free that you can use on those race stages. Because coming up, there's a big river and there's a boat we have to use to fill that platform. And hanging out on the boat, there's a different car. There's the American Dream, as it's been nicknamed. These vehicles don't have official names, unfortunately, and I didn't mean to get in it. I'm trying to get into the wheelhouse of the paddle boat, or whatever this is. There's a specific name for this type of boat, and somebody told me it in a previous marathon, and I forgot. The reason why that smiley face appears is that lets you know that that's where you can get out, and you can access the platform. So that's why he does that weird smile, which if I was like a hardcore blastcore speedrunner, I would definitely make that an emoticon for the channel. I might do it anyways, just because, to see what sticks.
Nice work.
Alright, that's Echo Marshes done.
Not a scratch on it.
No trouble at all.
Sven, the cars in the game look weird. They're way too long, like the devs needed to compensate. Oh, I don't know. So here's the introduction to Thunderfist. We've already driven him around, which is weird because Thunderfist isn't really hidden anywhere secret. He's just kind of sitting there in the stages where we found him. It's not like we had to go anywhere special. I don't know. You have to make sure to kick those little crates, because each of those crates counts as a building to destroy. So those are really easy to miss. And we got promoted again. You did a good job. The one-armed bandit, Thunderfist. Hey, that's my favorite Robot Wars robot. All right, so now we got Cromlech Court, and this stage is laid out very funnily. I'll show you why in a second. Hang on, I gotta smash down $1 million art piece over here. That's just for me. Art's a joke. I like how there's that gap in the trees right there, like specifically so that, because you can't go through the trees. You can't tear them down, and you can't drive through them. like you can in Monster Truck Madness. So there's that little gap for the missile truck to fit through. It's almost like the city planner knew. Hang on, I'm gonna smash that art piece too. Shut up. What? Why are you going? What? Oh shit! Slow down. I have never lost on this stage before. You know what it was? It's because I went to go hit the art.
You can do this.
Fuck you. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna do it again. I missed it apparently. Damn it. I don't think I've ever lost on this stage. I had no idea the truck goes that fast. Stepping on the gas on this one. What the hell? The secret to using Thunder Fist, as you can see, is whenever you punch a building and damage it, it will, he uppercuts. And that uppercut move becomes airborne, so then he'll just start leveling everything in front of him without, just regardless of how much damage it takes to knock it down.
You're just trying to impress me.
Okay, so that's the medium stages done. Now we're moving on to the hard stages. We've already lost a couple of times, so it's not getting good. And yeah, I agree, Buster Keaton rules. It is. I'm not doing Oyster Harbor yet. I'm not doing Diamond Sands yet. We'll get to those in a second. You know what? Let's do that real quick. Let's get to Diamond Sands. But I do think it is cool that Thunder Fist has one arm, because it does give him a backstory, even if the backstory is the 64 couldn't handle the rendering. So everyone who plays this game says Diamond Sands is the worst stage. It's the hardest stage in the game, and the reason for it is because it's basically. It's a love letter to Backlash. The missile truck is inexplicably stuck on the train tracks, and you have to destroy every single train house, but you can only access the train house from one side of the track, so you have to constantly switch over and double back. Oops, shit. Too much pepper on that one. People are always like, "Oh, it's so hard. I hate it. It's so difficult." It's not that hard of a stage. When you get the hang of it, it's easy. It's all about learning how to backlash. If you never learned how to drift with this truck, this is probably the worst stage, one of the worst stages in the game. I have an opinion on what the worst stage of the game is. We're going to play it directly after this one, and you're going to see what it is. So I'm struggling a little bit here with the backlash. I keep going a little too far with the drift. Okay, there we go. And double back around. Now, you notice I'm kind of hitting these ones in the back as I'm driving down there, but I'm kind of just skipping over. I'm just hitting what I can. The reason for that is because you might as well hit those back parts, because you're going to have to tear them down anyways. So if you can be a little more efficient and knock them down as you're heading that way, do it. That's really the secret to Diamond Sands, is to be efficient. So this is the last train house, because then you can see there's something special at the very end. There's a big ass building and a bunch of TNT crates to destroy it with. And I accidentally activated that one, so hang on, let me... Actually, I'm gonna leave that one alone, because when that one goes off by itself, it's gonna hit that building. No, it didn't. I really thought the blast radius was gonna hit that. You piece of shit. What kind of cheap ass Chinese TNT is this? Alright, well, let's get to work. So this is one of the stages where it's like, Draco, just use the Z glitch. Well, this building does break down in chunks. As you can see right here, there's more TNT inside the building as you break it apart. So each of these, when you do the Z glitch, it only works on the chunks of the building, not the whole building. So because the building falls apart in chunks, and here's the truck, it's already kind of chugging along, it's not it's not wise to try and knock this down using the Z glitch, because there's a lot of things you need to hit. It is just faster to be good at pushing the TNT, of which I don't appear to be. Okay, yeah, there's survivors, huh? Blew the whole building up. There we go. All right.
Nice work.
There's a certain flow to that final building, where, because you saw as I was tearing it down, there was more TNT hidden inside of it. So what you're supposed to do is, it's supposed to be very zen-like. You're supposed to know where the TNT is, and then as you push one block into it, you hit the one that's behind it, and you follow through and get multiple ones. Oyster Harbor is the bad stage, okay? Let me tell you a little bit about Oyster Harbor. They give you all these missiles, they want you to shoot at all this crap. Don't waste the time, okay? Shoot this right here. Blow that crap up, and then immediately get the hell out of here. Because you can see, the bulldozer's back there. And the bulldozer doesn't fuck around. We're gonna come back and level all this real quick. Don't fuck around, don't waste any time shooting at all these things. If you do that, you're gonna lose. So come back, destroy all these shipping containers. Okay, that's enough of them. We got them. Good. Got them. Alright, now we got a crane situation to deal with here. Already, right off the bat, crane. And then there's this. And you notice there's a bunch of TNT crates. That's fun. No, oh shit. Get out, get out. Don't dough me. So, what the game is expecting you to do is to pick up a TNT crate and then drop it onto this thing. But here's the kicker. If you drop it onto any of them, except for a specific one, you'll blow up one. But if you hit that third one right there, whole thing goes down. So you have to know to drop a TNT crate on that one specifically to level the entire thing, otherwise you break them one at a time. And you do that, you don't got time for that, you're gonna lose. Okay? Now we gotta push some little blocks into holes, right? This is a new puzzle. You gotta fill this hole with this. You can't turn them. The diamond goes in the diamond, the square goes in the square. Don't fill that hole with the diamond. If you do that, you're gonna find you come up one short. And guess what? You're gonna die. So instead you push the diamond over here. Because back here there's two diamonds. So you trade in the one diamond block for you get one more. It's a pretty good trade. And they can stack inside of each other because magic. So now you've got the diamond situation sorted out, okay? You put that one diamond there. Good, got it. Good, great, grand, wonderful. There's a square. Push this brownie in there. Push that one in there. Push this one in here. And you're gonna say, oh, I'm one short again. Where the hell's the thing? Drive through here. Okay? Smash all of this crap, because hidden way back here behind the flammable oil silos is the piece that you're missing. So if you spend too long looking for this, the truck's gonna get you. And now there's that's the strongest building in the game that you can bulldoze. But there's a ramp right in front of it, so you just have to turn around and hit it backwards. Really? Okay. You might be saying, oh look, the game is so nice, they put that boat there for me already. That's so nice of them. No. No. You're gonna have to move that boat. So you come back here, there's 3 boats. Okay? You park this one here. This boat goes here. Alright? You get out, and you stop right here. You walk across this bridge. And you walk back to the other boat that was parked back here. And now you're thinking, okay, finally, all 3 boats are where they need to be. We finally did it. We did it. But then, if you go past there, you find out there's a big-ass building. And the only way to blow that up is with some good old-fashioned TNT. So where's the missile truck? Okay, it's just about to drive over those brownies. Now you realize you actually have to get rid of this first boat. Because the only... Oh my god. I'm going to try to do this the normal way just to prove a point. how crappy this level is? Okay, then you get out. Then you get out. Then you get this TNT. Okay? You feel me? Then you put the TNT on the boat and try not to... Oh, I fucked that up. There's no way that's getting off the boat. I may have... Okay. The guy is warning you, saying, hey, buddy, you might want to do something about that. You bring this all the way back. Okay. Now, if I can get this unstuck, I might not be able to. I think I fucked it. I think I fucked it. No, there we go. Okay, there we go. Now, you push it. Straight. All the way. All the way. I fucked it again. It's blinking fast. That means it's about to go off, too. Okay. All the way. All the way. Now you've beaten the stage.
Nice work.
Now you did it. So whenever somebody plays this game and says, I hate Diamond Sands, they either just played there and then quit, and they've never played that stage, or they're just adding, they're just fucking doing the echo chamber thing, okay? Because that level sucks. And in the Japanese version of that game, it is impossible because the missile truck moves slightly faster in every level,
Go for it.
and the Z trick doesn't work in the Japanese version, because normally you just Z trick that building down and that problem solves itself. But yeah, I've never beaten this level in the Japanese version of the game, and I've tried for hours. Anyways, we're back in here because there's a scientist, of course. So in order to get that scientist, it requires us to fuck with these boats again. Gonna need to do some moving around. Remember how when we did MC Kids last night, and I'm like, Ronald McDonald designed this stage because he hates children? This is the stage that Rare designed because they hate the people that play their games. It's not easy. And finding the scientist here is a pain in the ass. It involves, we need that TNT crate. And it's also, this thing that we need to break is not it's this right here. That's not Z glitchable. If you try to Z glitch it, it only breaks half of it. And then you can't get to the other half. You'd think, well, Draco, why don't you just spin the camera 180 degrees and try to get out and do it the other way? It doesn't work that way. Because the character will only get out of a vehicle in a certain direction, and that's not governed by the direction the camera's pointing. So if you... This is the only way to get to the scientist, as far as I'm aware. This is a mean stage. This is the stage that gets coal for Christmas. Okay? Get out of here. We gotta push this through. There's these little side rails on the boats. You can kind of see them. That's what's getting in the way. Push it. One more time. Boom. We get back on this boat, and now because we've blown that up, we can just go. We can just get out. We can just take this boat and we can go cruising. Just wherever we want. And we can admire the water texture that is tiled. It becomes very obvious when you get out here in the open ocean of Blastcore. Then we stop. Then we ask the scientist, how the hell did you get out here? And we go back. Then we take the boat. So bye. You swing by and say hi. I got another word that rhymes with that for you. Bye. Alright, slow it down, slow it down. There we go. Oyster Harbor. Done. I would like to say from this point onward, it's all easy. It's all downhill from here. Next stage, Angel City. This is a repeat of a stage we've already seen, but they've given us different vehicles to do it with. This is kind of one of the lazy things I don't really like too much about this game. Feel like they could have done a lot more with the layouts of some of these stages. Instead of just reusing some of the same ones. But, you know, that's okay. It's still a fun game. Go. Yeah, can I keep this up? Hell yeah, you never know. So right here, there's a bump in the road. You can use that to knock down most of that building. I'm gonna try it one more time. Okay, we have to drift into that. There we go. All right. We can hit this bump again, and we can level that part. This one we do have to drift into. It helps if you hit the building when you drift into it. Pro tip, skips tips. But this blue building up ahead, you can kind of see there's a little splotch on the ground right there where you can get some air. Really? You're gonna do me? Oh, hello. Okay. Son of a bitch. I know. We got a problem. Let's fuck that one up. That particular patch of dirt, you have to kind of hit going one direction and then double back. It's like a figure eight. There's a certain path to it because the buildings are actually in the way. And then that, of course, was one instance of when I hit those gas pumps for the gas station, it damaged the neighboring building enough that it went down on its own. Right, that. Oh, I actually got the whole thing that time. Nice. Except for that one wall. Apparently that one wall is not in the way. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Screw it. If I don't have to hit it, I'm not gonna hit it. I'm getting caught in the fence right here. That's not good. Alright. Let's come back and regroup. Okay, now. I'm gonna fuck this up. There we go.
Looks tricky.
Easy every time. This building is actually kind of difficult to hit because you have to. These trees get in the way. So you have to, like, snake in between the trees. But thankfully, you only have to hit those two parts of the building. And that's it. This building is one of the ones that has the highest amount of hit points in the whole game. It takes a lot of hits no matter what you try to hit it with. It's almost like a TNT building. This one and that green building that has the factory one that has those smokestacks. Those two buildings have the highest hit points out of anything in the game. Whoops. There we go.
Nice work.
So I think the last time we played this, they just gave us missiles, and we just leveled the whole thing, and it was really easy. But having to drift is a little bit trickier, but we got it. Alright. Ember Hamlet. This stage is the first level again. It's Simeon Acres. And they give you the ballista and no ammunition for it. And if you try to beat this stage with the ammunition they give you, I don't think it's possible. Maybe it is if you land every single shot. But if you pay attention on the level select screen, it tells you the cyclone suit is in this stage. This breakdancing robot thing I've got. So really, the way to do this one is you got to find where this is, and it's inside a building that's right off to the side of the start. So you shoot that building down, you get inside the cyclone suit, and then you just dance around. You just boogie nights this motherfucker, okay? You get in, and you let it rip like a Beyblade, and you kick down everybody's fence with your dancing robot suit.
No trouble at all.
Okay, moving on. Glory Crossing uses the game's title theme as the level. This one is tricky because there's a lot of close quarters drifting with the dump truck. The final scientist is also in this level. Oh, you missed it. Go. But something interesting about this stage is that you also don't really need to destroy all of each of these buildings. Like right there, that's enough. You don't have to tear down that entire building. And then all these weird, like, ones in the corners that we're passing up, none of these are in the way. You have to, this is a very surgical stage. Like, that building, not in the way. Very, very peculiar of what's in the way and what isn't in the way. And this is the last one. Go. The carrier takes an interesting path through this course. Is there still something? Oh, it's this. Come on, man. Fuck off.
Nice work.
This scientist is the easiest one to find. He's literally just right here. If you haven't found any scientists by this point in the game, they tell you to look in this stage first. Because he's the easiest one to find. And I've been skipping through what the scientists say. But when you find one scientist, he'll tell you, hey, you need to go find my colleague. He's hiding in, whatever. And he'll name a stage. And then that's how you know where to look for the next one. Alright. We missing a level here? Oh, Crystal Rift. We haven't done this one yet. This is a great one because you start way up here and you can see the truck right down there. And then you see the building. You're like, I'm way up. Oh shit! I'm all the way up here, and I'm in a stupid train. There's no way. There's no way. But when you get out of the train, you find out you got Skyfall, and there's a baby way and there's a man way to get off this mountain. We're taking the man way, okay? Ready for this? Oh, there it is. That's so awesome every time. Awesome every time. And then you just fly in here. You're like Looney Tunes back in action, baby. You're just like, all right, I'm ready. Let's do this. So you don't do much damage for ramming a building directly with the vehicle. But with Skyfall, since he has turbo, it actually kind of calculates. Like you can see, if you hit it just right with turbo, you can damage these buildings pretty well with the full turbo boost. So there's multiple strategies for playing as this car. But of course, driving on top of buildings and landing on them is, of course, the most fun. And now we've got to make sure to park that not in the way. This is one of the stages. I think this is the stage where I discovered that if you leave a vehicle parked in the way of the missile carrier, then you lose. So we got to fill in these gaps. And this puzzle is nowhere near as mean as Oyster Harbor. We're done.
Nice
That was
work.
an easy course. It's fast paced at the beginning because they show you the situation. And I always thought that was a really cool stage because it lets you way out in the distance. It actually renders that far out there. I think this is the last stage coming up next, yeah. The Obsidian Mile. Another stage that we've played. In fact, it's Angel City. We just played this with the dump truck. But we got the Cyclone suit. So if I can get this going, we got it. The Cyclone suit is so much fun, and the reason why this is listed as a hard stage is because you really have to understand how the suit works, right? You can see this robot flipping and contorting and just going through the air like a fucking maniac. And like I said, when a vehicle is airborne, it's going to destroy everything in its path, regardless of however much damage that attack would normally deal to it. So, Cyclone Suit is all about getting him airborne. When he starts backflipping through buildings, like it's just, we just took out like 2.5 buildings with like one massive b-boy backflip. Like, it's the coolest thing. I never get tired of playing as this robot. If there was just a game that was based purely around this, I would have been happy. It's kind of like Thunder Fist in a way. It's the same philosophy. When Thunder Fist gets his uppercut going, like this building, I just got done saying it has like the highest hit points in the game, and we just tumbled through it. Tumblers better than pumpers, okay? We just knocked it out. Also, I think that is we've got all it takes. We can finish the job, and that is actually that's going to be time on Blast Core. I'm gonna find out. I don't know what stage this is. But this stage actually exists in the game, and through a Game Shark, you can play this level, but it's not beatable because the level boundaries are not set properly. There's no semi-truck to finish the stage with. There's also nothing in the way of the vehicle, as you can see, because this is just a cutscene that just plays and it drives through. But we're gonna see the safe detonation zone for the missile truck, which is kind of weird because we're passing up quite a few houses. So I feel like this isn't the safest place to set it off. But what do I know? I'm not the sick scientist that designed the thing or whatever. Shoutouts to Ken Lobb on the Nintendo of America staff. That's the person that the Klob gun is named after in GoldenEye. He's also the face texture that kind of looks like Hitler. I feel bad about that, so... Did you know that, gaming? Bet you didn't know it. What about gaming? So there's a glitch you can do on these credits. If you do 100%, it's worth it to try to skip these credits, because you gotta go back and do everything else. So... if you do the Thunder Fist stage and you exit at a certain time, also right here, like this just mountain range area, that's the safe zone. We did it, you guys. We did it. We did it. That's it. we saved America, okay? We saved them. But yeah, if you quit the Thunder Fist stage at a specific, the Thunder Fist tutorial stage at a certain point, the level will remember the fake input from the tutorial, and the character will spawn during the credits. You just don't see him, and he'll walk out of the boundaries, and when he does that, he sets off the missile carrier, and that finishes the credits. This is Shuttle Island. It's not part of the speedrun, so I'm not going to do this course. This is the game introducing you to that's the game introducing you to the fact that there's more stuff to do in this game than just those missions. So if you'd like to see Shuttle Island, we featured Blast Core previously on the Extra Life Marathons. It's not part of the Any Percent run, and in order to prevent today's marathon from going too far behind schedule, I'm not going to worry about Shuttle Island and the Moon stage and all those other ones. Yeah, the Moon, all the ones that go beyond that. But I would like to invite you to stick around and follow Gatorbox if you haven't already, because at some point I would like to do a Blast Core 100% speedrun, and we're going to see everything. We're going to do every stage, every bonus stage. I guess I'm going to try to get gold medals on the stages as best I can. You know, I'm not I'm not sure. I can't make any promises if we're going to get golds and platinums or whatever. But that was Blast Corps. That's one of my favorite games for the N64. And if I turn this off and show you guys the cartridge that I have, it actually has the sticker from the local hometown rental store that I got this from. I remember many years into the life of the 64, I believe the GameCube had come out. It was around the year 2000, 2001, and they had a lot of their N64 games and also their PS1 games and stuff just on the shelf. I remember asking them if they would just sell me this game because I rented it so many times. I said, can I have it? Can you ring it up? Can I just buy it? And they actually said, okay, because it's an old game. There's new stuff, bigger and better coming out. So they let me buy this game. And somewhere, I still have the original dot matrix printed receipt from when I bought this. I think they sold it to me for like $14.99. I think I don't remember what the rental price was, but that made me happy. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and being able to have that, this was before before the era of like emulation and stuff like that, especially Nintendo 64 emulation. So having it, I was like, oh, yes. But this is a fantastic game, and whether you're playing this one or the Japanese one, it's great. I would recommend starting with this one first. You can play the Japanese version and not need to know Japanese because the menus are in English still, mostly. But I would start with this because the Japanese version, Blast Dozer, is much harder. It's a much harder game, so be very careful about that. So thank you for the GGs, everybody. I appreciate it. Blast Corps, again, comes highly recommended from me. We did get another donation, so I will read that when we start the next game. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I'm going to read that donation right now because it relates to Blast Corps. So let me get the game. This one just came in from Sven of the Dead. He donates $15 saying, "For Thunder Fist, the most awesome name ever for a robot." And I would be inclined to agree. Thunder Fist. It's badass, all right? It's almost as badass as naming it like Mjolnir, like the Hammer of Thor, like, fuck you, yeah, smash it up. So that's Thunder Fist. And I would like to someday show y'all that glitch where you can skip the credits. It's really interesting because I'll show you real quick while we're still talking here. When you open the tutorial, there's like a little graphic of the controller in the side of the screen, and as the character moves, it shows you the control stick and it shows this, and then like the buttons light up to show you to roll. You press A, to punt, to do the punt, B, or whatever it is. And these inputs, the game is reading it as like a fake, almost like a tool-assisted speedrun type thing. It's an input the game is reading, but it's not your input. So when the game goes like this with the joystick to show you how to move Thunder Fist, if you exit immediately and quit the tutorial, the game will remember that fake input. Otherwise, when the tutorial finishes, it goes back to dead center, and it doesn't matter. So if you save that digital input and then you go finish whatever the final stage is that you haven't done yet to get to the credits, what happens is that the player character, the little man, he appears in the credits, but you don't see him because he's not in the view of the camera. But the game treats the credits background as a level. And what happens is that it spawns a little man, and because you've saved a fake input, he just starts to walk. And he keeps walking because the game is just doing this. It's holding that input. And because that level, like I said, it's not designed to be intended to be played, it's not a complete level. There are no level boundaries to it. If you can walk out of bounds. And the game's way of handling a death in the game, if the player somehow manages to get into the water when they're not supposed to, or if they get out of bounds, is to immediately just trigger the bomb truck and blow it up, and that'll end the stage. So you don't have to wait through all the credits. You can get about halfway through the credits before the guy eventually walks out of the boundaries of the stage, and then the game is like, hey, what? Where'd he go? He was supposed to be. Who was watching him? He was right here. You were watching him. What happened? And then he falls out into the ether, and then it sets off the truck. And then, because the truck is supposed to blow up during the credits, the game is like, oh, the credits must be done. Okay, well, anyways, here's the rest of the game. So it's a really amusing glitch whenever you, like, when you think about the process behind it. So Sven, thank you very much for your donation. It's much appreciated. That brings us to $318.53. So we are about $41.47 away from... No, I'm sorry, $31.47 away from the next game challenge, of which all of these appear to kind of be in the way. And there's all these little pink things, and this one fell out. Thanks for checking out this video. Leave a like if you liked it, leave a dislike if you didn't. Either way, your feedback is appreciated. And you can also subscribe to Gatorbox if you like this content and want to see more of it from us. Catch us live Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/Gatorbox. If you'd like to support this channel, you can do so at patreon.com/Gatorbox or streamlabs.com/Gatorbox.